We're used to thinking about cyber attacks as a conflict between people. But what happens when the attacker isn't a person at all? What if it's an AI that never gets tired, never makes a typo, and operates at the speed of light? Well, today we're diving headfirst into that new reality. We're talking about a true AI cyber duel, where we'll look at a brand new kind of digital threat and the AI that was built specifically to hunt it down. So let's just start with this quote, because this isn't from some sci-fi movie. This is a direct description of a real-world cyber threat. We are talking about operations that run 24/7, that are constantly learning, and that execute attacks at a pace that is just physically impossible for any human team to keep up with. This isn't some problem for the future. This is the new battleground that security teams are fighting on right now.
Okay, so here's our game plan. First up, we're going to meet the villain of our story, a new AI-powered threat. Then we'll take it apart piece by piece and look at the anatomy of an AI attack. After that, we introduce the hero, the AI defender that's built to fight back. We'll go deep inside its architecture, watch the digital duel play out, and then wrap up by looking at what this new frontier really means for all of us.
So let's get into it. Our story kicks off with the arrival of a new and very, very different kind of adversary. Meet GTG-1002. Now, this is not your typical hacker group hiding in a basement somewhere. It's a state-linked actor. And what they did was they weaponized a large language model, an LLM, the kind of AI that powers tools like ChatGPT, and they turned it into the field commander for a cyber-espionage campaign. The most important word here? Autonomous. The AI wasn't just a fancy tool for a human hacker, it was calling the shots. And this number, well, this really shows you the scale of that autonomy. Somewhere between 80 and 90% of the actual tactical work, the scanning, the probing, the hacking, was done by the AI. The human operators, they were more like managers, just setting some high-level goals and signing off on the big moves. This completely flips the script. It means a tiny team can have the impact of a massive cyber army, and they could potentially launch sophisticated attacks against thousands of targets all at once. So how does an AI actually pull off a cyber attack? Let's get into the anatomy of this operation and see how this AI campaign brain really works. Okay, so the core idea is pretty straightforward. GTG-1002 used its LLM as the brain of the whole campaign. It took a bunch of standard off-the-shelf hacking tools, the same kind of pen testing tools that security pros use to find weaknesses, and it put the AI in the driver's seat. So instead of a person typing in commands, you have the LLM running the tools, reading the output, and then deciding what to do next, all in this continuous, relentless machine speed loop. And as you can see, the process follows a pretty classic attack playbook. It all starts with a human operator giving the AI its target. But from that point on, the AI basically takes over. Step 2 is reconnaissance. You can think of it like the AI is casing the joint, just mapping out the target's entire digital footprint. In step 3, it finds a weak spot and exploits it to get inside. Once it has a foothold, it moves to internal recon, looking around to see what's valuable. And finally, in step 5, it grabs the data, pulls it out, and reports its success back to its human boss. So now that we've seen the threat, this story shifts. I mean, how on earth do you defend against something like this? Well, the answer, as it turns out, is you have to fight fire with fire. You have to build a defense that is just as AI native as the attack itself. And this is the central question, isn't it? Our traditional security systems, they were all built to track threats moving at human speed. But when the attacker is a swarm of AI agents going 24/7, you need a fundamentally new playbook. You need an automated defender that also never sleeps. And that brings us to AutoBlue. This is the blueprint for an AI-assisted defensive system. It's a blue team architecture. That's just cybersecurity lingo for the good guys, the defenders. You can think of AutoBlue as the hero of our story, an AI guardian designed for one specific purpose: to detect, analyze, and shut down the exact kind of campaigns that GTG-1002 is running. And this is where it gets really smart. AutoBlue is built on 5 core principles. Let's just quickly break them down. First-class model telemetry basically means it's watching what the AI is thinking, not just what it's doing. Campaign-level correlation means it connects all the tiny, seemingly random dots to see the bigger attack pattern. AI-assisted investigations means it's like a partner for human analysts, helping them sort through data at superhuman speed. The tight enforcement loop, that means it can act immediately to block a threat. And finally, continual guardrail hardening means it's designed to constantly learn from every attack to get stronger and stronger over time. So we know what AutoBlue is supposed to do. Now, let's pop the hood and see how this AI Guardian is actually built.
The foundation of this entire system is something they call the Gen AI security bus. And honestly, the best way to think about this is like the system's central nervous system. It's this one single data pipeline that is constantly watching every single action, every prompt, every tool used on the platform, all of it, in real time. Nothing moves without this thing knowing about it.
And the data it's collecting is absolutely key. It's not just looking at one thing. It sees the AI's intent by reading its prompts and its logs. It sees the action by watching the network traffic. And it sees the actor by looking at who is logged in. When you put all that together, you get this rich three-dimensional picture of everything happening on the platform. All of that data gets fed into this really cool three-layered detection brain. So the first layer, that uses simple rules to catch the obvious, smash and grab style attacks. The second layer uses machine learning classifiers to spot the more subtle patterns of misuse. And the third and most powerful layer is a campaign graph that links all these seemingly unrelated, harmless activities over time to reveal the full scope of a slow, coordinated attack.
And that brings us to the main event, the digital duel. Let's map the attacker's moves directly against the defender's countermeasures in a play-by-play of this new kind of AI cyber warfare. So on the left, you've got the attacker's lifecycle, from targeting all the way to stealing the data. But on the right, you can see AutoBlue's response at every single stage. Look at this. While the attacker is just starting its reconnaissance, AutoBlue is already sensing a campaign is kicking off. By the time the attacker is trying to actually exploit something, AutoBlue has already flagged the activity and sent it off for investigation. It's designed to be a step ahead, not a step behind. And this right here, this is the absolute game changer. A system like AutoBlue spots the threat at the earliest possible moment. It is not waiting around for the fire alarm to go off after the bad guys are already inside. No, it sees the attacker casing the joint during that first recon phase, and it steps in before they can even get their hands on the doorknob. So where does all this leave us? Well, this duel between GTG-1002 and AutoBlue, it's really just the opening shot in what's shaping up to be a full-blown AI arms race in cyberspace. But of course, no defense is perfect. AutoBlue have its own limitations. It can only see what's happening on its own turf. It has to be really careful not to mistake a legitimate security researcher for an actual attacker. And a really sophisticated adversary could try to evade it with super slow, stealthy tactics. So this isn't game over. This is a continuous, evolving battle of measures and countermeasures.
And that brings us to the final and most critical question that is going to define this next cyber frontier. As both attack and defense become more and more automated, the entire balance of power is going to come down to one thing: who can build, deploy, and scale their AI faster? That's the question that's going to be keeping security teams up at night for many years to come.